Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and this is the 26th part in a series we're doing where we build a city called Westdale. This part, our main goal is actually increasing our population. As you can see, we do have a little bit of demand for it, just a medium amount. And my goal is to actually raise this up to at least, a very minimum, 55,000. Ooh, thunderstorm. It would be pretty cool if we got up to 57.5 or 60,000, but I doubt we'll have enough time to get there because our education system is being throttled at the university level, which we can actually probably work on. In fact, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and just work on the university once we have all the neighborhoods laid out, just so that way they can level up a little bit faster and it'll complete an area. So my goal for the residential area is to build it over here. And I was actually thinking of just extending out this road from this corner all the way out. I think I'd actually like to start curving it around and in over here somehow. I think something similar to that. And then maybe we can parallel this toll road over here until it reaches something right about there, and maybe we can have something that comes right out from over here, hooks right up just like that. I don't want to extend the neighborhood over by the airport like this simply for noise pollution, although one second, I bet if I pull up a web page here I can show you why I would think it would be okay. All right, so here we are. We're at LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. I don't know if you can see that. That's the runway right there, or there's multiple runways, but these are two of the runways and some of their taxiways. And right down here is, guess what? Residential. Right across the street from the airport. There is a little bit of a buffer with some industrial over here, but I think the point kind of remains the same of that it's okay to put residential near an airport. I don't think it's advisable, but it can obviously be done right off the runway. And so yeah. I'm going to leave a little bit of room from the residential to the airport, and I'm thinking I'll just bring that road out right there, and we'll use that as the separation, where our residential will be on this side, and then I have some plans for what could possibly go over here in the future. I'm not quite sure how I'd like to lay these roads out just yet. I'm thinking I want to use that as a reference, and then bring this out. I'm not quite sure how far. I think for now we'll just get the basics of the roads laid out, just to try and maximize the number of squares in here. Alright, so I'm thinking this looks decent enough for at least the neighborhood over here. I'm thinking I'm going to want to take a regular district and paint it out over here. I think just like that. I'm going to want to pull it off of this road over here though, because I want to put a city service over there. And just for this, I want to go into the policies, go to city planning, and do heavy traffic ban. The reason why I want to do that is because we have the shipping harbor right here. And they're probably just going to want to cut through the neighborhood just to get out, when we want to focus their traffic to go. We want to focus the flow of traffic down here and then down this 4-lane road into the main road over here. We want to try and prevent them from driving through somebody's neighborhood like that. So I think next I want to think about all the city services over here. And I think I'm just going to go from left to right on this bar down at the bottom. So we'll go here. Well, except for we'll skip over zoning until we actually need to zone it in. But I want to do a 6-lane road with bike lanes and trees right over here. Just coming into the neighborhood, because we are going to have more traffic going down this one, which is where we're going to want the 4-lane road with bike lanes and trees. And then I'm going to continue this 4-lane one all the way down, at least up until that intersection right there. Since I'm not going to be planning out this area to the right just yet, I'm not going to worry about actually putting in any of the roads over here. In fact, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'd like this one to be a 4-lane road, kind of to separate the residential on the left to whatever I figure out is going to go on the right over here in the future. And I'm okay with all of these connections. This is not supposed to be like some sort of super fast way. It's just meant to get people out of the neighborhood. Now I do want to connect or continue this all the way down over here. So I'm thinking we're going to have to delete that and then extend it down here. As far as this road, I'm actually going to upgrade it to that one right there. And then in one quick second, I'll have all of these roads upgraded. All right, so we've got all the roads over here upgraded. And then we're just going to jump right into districts. We've already done that one. But for leisure, I'm actually going to do a park area. And I'm going to paint it right along here and bring it up into this little corner right here. I think this would be pretty good for their leisure. Although the people on the opposite end of this neighborhood might not have an although the people on the opposite side of this neighborhood might be a little out of reach of the park, I think it'll be perfectly fine. So next, I think we're going to be okay on electricity. It looks like we're producing way more than we actually need. And I'll go ahead and get the water pipes laid out. What does that guy say? Right under the roads where they belong. Who is that? I think that's city planner dude. My mom calls him the city planner dude. All right, we got our water pipes all laid out. Now I'm going to go to the industry. I think we've got enough garbage coverage. I think that's perfectly fine. But what I want to think about is actually this post office. And I was thinking of putting it right up in there in that little nook up there. I think that would be a pretty good idea. It's right there in an easy place where it can get down to the main road with as little traffic conflict along that road, or it can have easy access to this neighborhood down this particular road. As far as medical goes, I think because this end of the neighborhood where I put the post office is actually going to be lacking with its property value, I'm going to go ahead and place this sauna over there. I actually kind of want to put some other city services over here as well, maybe a fire station and a police station. I'm thinking of going with the Heart of Korea ones since they are the cheapest and easiest. I wonder if I can fit this in over here. I think I should be able to, so I think I just need to pause this real quick, delete those, put that down, and then I can go ahead and redo this. Just like that. Yeah, there we go. Now we got the police, the fire, the sauna, and the post office right over in that corner. As far as education goes, I think I actually want to add more, because if we go up into our tabs up top and we look at our education view, we're just barely over by about 300. And if we're going to be adding in close to 5,000 to 7,000 people, I think, or I'd like to at least, that is definitely not going to be enough. Let's get out of this road view. And if we look at our high school, we're actually under. We have a capacity of 62 and we have 64 eligible. And we'll worry about university later while everybody's moving in and whatnot. Just to keep things simple and off of already made intersections, I think I want to bring this road down just a little bit. Let's see if I can do this with the already done road, just like that. We could take our bike lanes and just extend these out in either direction here. And I actually think it would be a good idea to go with something like the high capacity elementary and the high capacity high school. Just get these right over in here. We can put some bus stops maybe right outside just to get people here faster. But I think that'll be good. Oh, we're paused. And so if we look at this, we'll have plenty of capacity on elementary as soon as it turns on. There we go. And plenty on high school. Get our citizens educated, get these buildings upgraded. As far as transportation goes, what I want to think about is where do these people want to go? At least from here. We have a metro stop over here, as well as a harbor and a bunch of commercials. So I think if we bring a bus line kind of through their neighborhood a little bit, I don't want to go too far through. So I think if we say put the first stop there, second stop there, third stop there, we can have a stop down here. And then we want to think about putting our stops near things like this harbor, over by this metro station, and then we can come, oop, jumpy game. We can come back over here and we can put a stop down over by this high school and then bring them in and I think complete the line just like that. Then all we have to do is put one going in the opposite direction. All right, so I've changed it to be this kind of grayish red and this grayish green down over here. We're starting to run out of colors, but it is what it is. We'll be all right. Now this is where we're gonna have to worry about parks. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and slap down like the park entrances, some paths, and a couple props, but I'm not gonna go crazy. I wanna put this main park entrance right next to this bus stop over here, just to encourage as many people as we can to actually use the bus line over here. And then we'll just kind of put down some of these stops just wherever. I guess not really stops, but some of these park entrances just wherever. I think for this one, since this does have such a close proximity to the airport, this is probably going to be considered a lower income area or cheaper housing. I think I'm just going to go with the default pavement paths in here. So I'm going to clear out these trees real quick and then get these paths laid out. All right, so I decided to go with some really super basic layout in here, nothing too fancy. We could just put down a couple assets in here just to give the park some value. Maybe it'll encourage some people to move in faster or something. Don't want to forget about the gazebos. For some reason, people in this game absolutely love gazebos. No clue why, but they do. All right, now that we've got all that out of the way, I think we can do some paths because I know just how much you people love paths for some reason. So let's go ahead and just slap a couple of these down in places where it might take them a little while to walk from point A to point B. And you know what? I'm thinking that's kind of fine. Although we probably want to think about adding some connectivity over here because they're probably going to want to walk across the way like this or something like that. I just have a strange feeling that people will want to use those paths over there since we do have a metro stop. We have unique buildings, more commercial. They'll probably want to walk from the neighborhood over there. So I'm using dirt just to be temporary paths so we don't feel bad for demolishing them later on since, you know, they're just dirt. So yeah, I think we're actually ready to start zoning this in. And for these particular high density buildings, I'm not going to use any theme or style. And I want to make them historical pretty much as soon as they grow in. I don't want them to grow any taller or larger than that very low height, high density. So I will be right back once this is all zoned in, so I don't have to bore you all. All right, so we've got everything zoned in over here. We've got everything made historical, double check 2, sometimes even 3 times. Thank you, anxiety. And I've actually allowed a couple of these to grow fairly tall. Well, they didn't grow, it's just how they, well, I guess technically they did grow, but it's level 1 building. I was okay with it since they're so far away from the airport. I think it's perfectly fine. It'll kind of give these people maybe a cooler view of the harbor from up high or the bridge. Maybe create some little bit of fake value or something. I know that doesn't really matter in this game, but it's cool to think about. And so now that this area is all done up and zoned in, if we look at our building levels, most of these should only need, oh, that one's already max level, okay. Most of these should only need education to level up. And all that is going to take is just time. So we just have to leave these people alone and they will start to really fill in. And some of those things that I'd like to do while we wait for these people to level up and move more people in is to actually come over here. I'd like to fill in this little tiny area over here with more residential. I was thinking of just continuing out this particular neighborhood over here. Same theme, same style. We're not going to make anything historical and just finish it out over here. I was thinking about bringing this maybe right around there. And of course, since it doesn't look like there's a node to snap to, I want to be very careful with how close I am to this, whatever that is. I think it's like a police station or something. Fire station. It's a police station. But now that we know a 2-tile wide one can fit, we can go and downgrade it back down to the... I was about to say wooden road. Downgrade it back down to the dirt road. And we could do something like that over here. Although I don't really like how the zoning has turned out over here. I'm going to try bringing this back by, I think that's 1 or 2 units. So we can grow the full 4 there, but not on this side. So same thing on this side. I'm going to bring it back the 2 units. Bring it out like that. And I think that's a little bit more acceptable for what I'd like. So let me go ahead and get the rest of this area. Well, actually, I think that's about it. I don't think there's really not much I can do besides demolish a few trees to make room for some buildings. I think I over demolished, but you know what? It's okay. We're going to need some water over here. And we're just going to keep on going with the theme of the bike lane roads over here for now. And I think that is going to be perfectly fine. Now, I think I would like to maybe de-zone a couple of these squares, like maybe that one. Put a fence through like that. Of course, we're not going to be able to see these fences once the buildings grow in. These are just so that way some of these buildings can grow in just a little bit fuller. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to... I think I'm just going to deal with these weird grid on the right. Let me see if I can... You can see how there's these 2 different things like this. I think I'm just going to be okay with that. And we'll just go ahead and zone this in just like this. I think that'll be perfectly fine. We don't have to worry about making anything historical. We can just let it grow. But we do know that we are going to need a more attractive university, so that way we encourage more of them to go here. So that way our buildings level up faster and we can get more people quicker. We're going to go ahead and just demolish these dirt paths around here. And for the buildings I wanted to add for this one, I was thinking about adding in this commencement office. But wherever I add this in, I do need to be mindful of adding in... I also want to add in this university library, and these are some pretty big assets. I'm not quite sure why this doesn't want to just snap to the... Why does it want to snap to that road? Why does it not want to... What in the world? What in tarnation? I think we're just going to have to put this close to the road and use our imaginations that it's actually on the road. I'm thinking that's perfectly fine. You know, you got the library looking out into the residential homes over there. I'd like to bring the path off of this one right over here. Ooh. I think we're going to have to reconsider where we put that building. I don't think the commencement office... Is that what this is? Commencement office? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it is 10 wide, so we're going to have to build around this first, and then we can consider where we're putting the library. The library. We could put it right here, although that would make it awkward to put paths down over to the main road. We can fit. It can fit. Oh, that's perfect. And if we drag it down a little bit more, we might be able to get a path going over it. This is stressful. It's like playing that game of what is it? Surgery? Surgeon? Operation. That's what it is. It's like playing that game of Operation. Oh, and we could fit the path too. That is perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to see. So I think we also got another building that we could put down, the math club. I'm thinking right behind the commencement office is a perfectly fine place. And I don't know if we have anything else that'll fit. We have a university fountain for 270. How much does this one increase its attractiveness by? What's our current attractiveness? 665. And then if we put down Oh, well, I guess we're not going to be able to put this one down. It's too big. So we'll just have to go with this one over here. Looks like there's only one place we can put it, which is okay. We can go ahead and put that down right over there. Extend our path out just a little bit here. And then maybe we can fill in with some groundskeeping buildings and pretend these are like teachers' offices or maybe classrooms or something. I think that would be perfectly fine. Yeah, just like that. And now our university is complete. We have 820 attractiveness on that one. We have 460 on this one. And all that's left to do with this area is just add trees and props. And I think that is absolutely incredible. I like this area. I kind of want to come back over here and check up on how these people are doing with their building levels. Not great, it looks like. And over here, they just need education. Their land values are perfectly fine over here, which is great to see. That's one of the things I was worried about, was because they're so far away from the park that they're not going to have enough land value. But it looks like with the services we put over here, we've kind of spread that out, and that's real nice. So that's pretty much all we really had to do this episode. I'm going to keep it kind of short, simple. But I think I'd like to actually start adding in trees and whatnot around this thing, because we're nowhere near the population goal I had. I want 55,000, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just start beautifying the area a little bit. Maybe adding in some trees and rocks, just to make this park look a little good. I do have some thoughts about what I'd like to do along this waterfront over here, and even on the side of these roads. I would like to put wall-to-wall commercial over here. So I don't want to put too many rocks and trees in here. I want to keep that in mind of we're trying to keep that land zonable. All right, here we are. So I spent just a little bit of time adding in some trees and rocks and whatnot. I think it looks a lot better. And I actually had no idea that you could put these flowers on the park paths like this. I think that is really cool. I like it a lot. I was under the impression that you could only put trees and things on there. So to see that I could put flowers really adds to it. Then you got the park main entrance right over here, right in between these homes. I'm not worried about fencing or anything like that to keep people out of here. Oop, I didn't realize it would drag me all the way over here. I'm not too worried about putting fencing around here to keep people out. I think this is perfectly fine. I really like this park a lot. I think it looks great. I think we probably need to think about the safety of these children as well. Maybe we want to put down a fence over here of some sort. I'm thinking maybe just like that, and then we can bring this all the way down, pretend it kind of curves into the bridge just like that. But we are going to need the one in between the I think right about there, and we can just extend this right on out over here, although it looks like it's kind of coming out at an angle, so we might want to demolish that one, turn on our guidelines, and just try our best to line this up over here. Maybe we can come from this direction. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. We can come over here and then connect it up just like that. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just bring this all the way down over here and wrap it around, right? And we'll just end it right underneath here, and we'll call that good. We're not actually going to be looking down here. And there we go. Now we got the children nice and protected from the rail line here. I kind of like that. I think it's decent. Let's check up on these people. Looks like we've gained about 1,000 population. Looks like they're doing a little bit happier. So there's actually a bigger infrastructure thing that I wanted to put into this one, and that's actually to expand our tram line again. So in the recent update, we actually got 6-lane roads with the tram tracks in the middle. I'm actually really excited about that because I believe the 6-lane ones that we had when I put down our tram line had them on the outside. Now, the only downside to this is that the one in the middle doesn't have bike lanes. So we're going to be losing. It's going to be a trade-off. We're going to expand our tram line to increase its coverage, but we're also going to lose people who are willing to bike. I'm okay with that. I think we'll be perfectly fine. But just to kind of show you like why I'm excited for it is because you could see when the tram turns left from here off this 4-lane road with the tram in the middle, it has to cut across everybody to get to the outside. I'm not cool with that. And then same with going from, although I suppose it's going to be an equal trade because if we pause and we upgrade this, it's going to be cutting across all the traffic to turn right. So I guess it's kind of a trade-off. But there's just certain areas like over here where we really want the tram in the middle because we don't want it conflicting with the trucks that are trying to turn right over here. And especially over in this area as well. If we come over here, we get the tram that is in direct conflict with all the trucks that try and turn right in here and right out of here. So there's a few places where I think this will actually help our traffic out just a very small amount. The only thing we'll have to, not the only thing, one of the things we'll have to think about is this roundabout. Because right now with the tram trucks on the outside, it looks like it works perfectly fine. But if we put the one like this, it's now going to be, yet again, cutting across everybody to get onto the roundabout. That's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and at least upgrade the main roads, and then we'll get into doing some of the smaller things like this. All right, so I've got pretty much the entire main current line upgraded, but we want to go through with our junction view just to make sure that we didn't create any inadvertent traffic lights, which we did right there. All right, so it looks like we only accidentally made one junction. Now there are a couple problem areas, such as right here with the train station. I believe if you've seen that episode, you remembered that I said we needed to put this down on the existing road or you can't upgrade it. That still remains true, but I'm going to let you in on a little bit of trick. A little bit of a trick here. We're going to pause the game. We're going to demolish it. Upgrade our road. Bust it back out. Make sure we're actually putting it right where we had it before. Boom, look at that. Right back in place. It's connected to the road, the path's reconnected, even the train line reconnected. So that's really cool. And if you look at the platform up here, everybody's still there. Well, I mean, it looks like everybody's fleeing and running around right now. Maybe they got confused or something, I don't know. But everything still works as intended. Oh, we can upgrade the festival area. Yeah, why not? And then down over here at the roundabout, this is another area we're going to have to think about. I'm thinking of just demolishing all of this stuff in the middle here and making room for the regular tram tracks that don't allow vehicles on them. So if we take this, we come out just a little bit on both of these. And then we want to curve it around just like that. Oh, it looks like there's now traffic lights over here. Let's bust into our junctions here. There we go. We can go ahead and get rid of those. And then that means we can upgrade this roundabout to have 3 lanes, just to make it easier for people to get around. Yeah, that way the tram only has to cut across once in both directions. And this will be kind of cool. It's kind of similar and almost directly across from the one that has the monorail that crosses it. I really like that. I think that's kind of neat. Kind of a cool feature, I guess. Coming down the road, you see the tram cross in the middle. Well, yeah, this is where we get into the part where we're going to be extending and changing the line. So, if we come over here, I'd like to bring it down this main road all the way down, even across the bridge, over into this area with the fish market. I'll have it just wrap around this area over here. Now, the reason why I want to do that is for a couple reasons. For one, I would like to put some industry over here, so to have another way for some of our Sims to get to work, that'd be kind of nice. Also, this fish market acts kind of like a unique building or a tourist attraction of some sort, where, as you can see, tourists will come and buy fish. And then, of course, I'd actually like to put some of the unique buildings over here. A couple of the ones that I'd made the mistake of putting in the cheese wedge over there. I'll just go ahead and show you. These two right here, the Oriental Market and Noodle Restaurant. I'd actually like to move those. I'd actually like to move those over into this area over here. And so if we're going to have unique buildings and work over here, we probably want another mode of transportation to get over here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and extend this tram line out and get it all set up. So I will be right back. All right, so we've extended the tram line all the way down. It now goes from one end of the city all the way down to the all the way down over to the other side. Sorry, I had like two phrases in my head at the time. But as you can see, we've got backup of trams, but that's okay. It'll just take a little while for these to unaccordion just to get used to their new route. And that's okay. So we've got the tram line that goes all the way down. Oh, we didn't check to see what it's going to go up to. So right now it looks like it says we have about 132 looks like we have roughly 132 people per week using the tram line now. So if we just let this run, I wonder what it's going to get up to. So I'm thinking while we wait for our population to get up to where I'd like it, I'm just going to go through here with some fencing and kind of continue on with the idea I had of protecting these people from the highway and just kind of bringing this along around behind this new area. I think that'll be kind of nice. This does take a little bit of patience and precision just to get these fences to hug these roads like this, but it's fine. Actually, you know what? I think we want to, instead of bringing this up into this sound barrier up here, what if we actually curved this out now? Maybe like that. And then we can bring it down. Oh, well, that just got rid of the trees. Goodbye, trees. Although it looks like we angled it just a little bit too much. So if we come down maybe to something like that. Oh, my goodness, jumpy. Then we can connect it up like that. I think that would be pretty decent. Then to help these guys out a little bit, because we already have the park over here, we can just bring this pathway over here. Oh, that stinks. Poor tree. And connect it up into them just to give them a little bit more. My goodness, none of these trees want to stay. We can do something just like that. That way now they have their own access to the park. Do we have the park area extending this way? Not all the way. But you know what? I think that's enough. That's pretty cool. We've got a level 3 diversity now. It doesn't look like we're going to reach level 4. It looks like we're shy about 80. But you know what? That's okay. And it looks like our population is almost at the level I want of 55,000. So you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and start adding trees and props to this university area now that it's done. I mean, we aren't waiting for anything else now. So you know what? I will be right back. Alright, so it looks like we've got the university area pretty much all done up now. I've even replaced all the trees and all the paths with these young lindens. And I decided to actually start putting trees and vegetation down inside of the actual university itself. And the inspiration I got from that was I had visited a college called, I believe, UC Berkeley. I think that's in Northern California. And they had these parks there that, I don't know if they had multiple parks, but there was one park. And then when I walked through one part of the campus, there was just all of this greenery and they had redwoods and it was just really beautiful. So that's where I kind of wanted to go, or the reason why I wanted to go throughout the entire campus with trees and vegetation and whatnot was to kind of give it more of that UC Berkeley type vibe. Of course, I believe with UC Berkeley, they had more winding paths and not all completely straight paths. I think it was like a healthy mix between the two of straight and windy. But yeah, I think now we can go ahead and decorate in this area over here. And it looks like we're getting pretty close to our goal now. So I'm thinking we're not going to have to decorate too much more. So I will be right back. Alright, that one was fairly simple and quick. We just had to put some trees and rocks behind these houses over here as well as in front. And that's actually feeling pretty good. It actually feels really good to look at this end of the city and not really have a whole lot that I want to do with it. It feels really nice. And we've definitely surpassed our population goal so far. And you know what? I think because... Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna. I was thinking about just going ahead and putting down some low density commercial over here, but... Because I really want to finish this area out as well now, but I think I'm just gonna call this good. I think I'm happy with this. We've hit the population goal I wanted to hit. We have satiated a bit of our residential demand, and it looks like a little bit of our industrial demand is starting to rise, which is great. It's exactly what we want. Because if we look at our import view, we are still importing a ton of commercial goods and exporting none. I believe if we raise our commercial good production, we will then raise our incomes. That way our warehouses aren't trying to import all those commercial goods as well as our commercial zones. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know how true that is, but I believe that is how we're going to raise our income. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. It's just my hypothesis. So I think next part, I want to raise our population even more. I'm hoping next part we'll finish off around 57,500 and our industrial demand will rise even more. And the location for the next housing I'd like to do is actually a bunch of low density. I want to actually extend it up onto this hill, and this is going to be really challenging for me. I'm not very good at... In this game, well, I'm not very good at following the topographical lines with roads and keeping things at really nice grades. So this one's going to take a lot of practice from me just to get these roads laid out correctly. So I'm probably going to have to put in a lot of recording time trying to get the correct road layouts. It's not going to be something that I could just bang out first try like this one where I just slap this down and call it good. But yeah, I think now is when I want to start working my way up to the top of this hill over here. And I'm thinking right over here with some low density all along the side of the hill is going to be kind of cool. I'm thinking of even mixing in like a nature reserve on the side of the hill as well, so we can have some of those nature reserve paths, have people hiking up along. And the reason I want to do that is if we come into our building levels, you could see a lot of these buildings still aren't max level yet, and it's going to be increased land value. So we do have some untapped population potential over here. We just have to reach it. All right, so let's actually get in here and take a look at our... Oh my goodness, all right, so I think, what was it? We were like at 100 and... I can't even remember how many people we had in here, before, but it looks like we've well over doubled the amount of people using our tram line. And to me, I think that is absolutely crazy. I'd like to see our traffic 87%. I wonder if it's because, well, I don't know why we have 87% traffic. It looks like everything's kind of flowing, kind of moving. It doesn't look like anything's standing still. Well, we're at 89 now. 90% as we go into the academic year. 90%. Oh, back down to 89. Well, we'll stop looking at that and we'll leave it on the high of 90%. So yeah, thank you for watching. I do appreciate your viewership. I hope you enjoyed. I did things a little bit differently this time, where I mostly talked through what I was doing. I wanted to try that out this time. Normally what I do is I just say my general idea and I go into a time lapse, and then I discuss why I did what I did after, kind of like how I did with the detailing. But I usually do that for everything. And so I think I'd like to start going into content like that going forward, but it's something that I'm going to have to practice and get better at. So if you are the kind of person that enjoys the time lapse of everything, I'm sorry, I'll still try and include those detailing time lapses in each video. And that's something else I wanted to change as well. I want to move away from the whole episodes focused on detailing and add those into every episode. Just a little bit, not too much, something quick, easy, identifiable in the chapters section in the description, so that way you can skip it if you'd like. So yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to me ramble here at the end. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
On the floor, looking up, wanting more. This is so unreal. I must have been wrong, 'cause your love is strong for him. Why would it not be? He's always there for you. I keep living alone, so far from home. Free, but ready to flee from this all. Hard to be standing on your own. Hard to be standing on your own. You knocked me down, swept my feet off the ground, left me on the floor. Hard to resist, got me looking like this, like no one before. 'Cause I must be strong, 'cause this might go on for long. 'Cause I was wrong, and he's always there for you. I keep living alone, so far from home. Free, but ready to flee from this all. Hard to be standing on your own. Hard to be standing on your left on the floor, looking up, wanting more. This is so unreal. Out of my mind, how could I be so blind? How could I not see? I must have been wrong, 'cause your love is strong.